Oh, hello, good morning. My name's Kieron Seamons, this is my inky world, and we are getting into some inky drawings today, as we do every day. We're getting to something inky with a little pen that looks something like that. That's what we're going to be doing today. Today's request is the ugly smile. It might happen, it might not. I will see what I do as I throw down my ink and see where we go. But if you're in the mood for some inky drawing, you got your pen and your paper, and it's something you want to draw along with me, you are very, very welcome. So, let's draw. Okay, so, is that actually running? Let me just check. Yes, it's running. Right. So, we're going to get into an ugly smile, and I think I'm going to start off with my lucky brush, which is that weird bent up thing there. And I think I'll just kind of like, I'll start off with a nice kind of big blobbly, thick smile to kind of give me some kind of direction. And it's always a nice thing just to put down a very, very thick line, just to kind of get my mind ticking. Sometimes I do find that sometimes when starting off a drawing, sometimes you can kind of get a little bit kind of nervous about something. I don't know quite if nerves is the right word, but sometimes you can kind of get into a strange kind of feeling that you have to kind of perform and you have to be perfect and amazing, and that's not really the case. It's just, these are just like sketches. These are like daily bits of fun, and that's how I think you should see your drawings too, that you're having fun. Otherwise you put so much pressure onto yourself, then things can kind of, I don't know, they kind of put you on edge a little bit. And today was kind of like the ugly smile, so I'm just kind of putting a few wonky teeth in there just to kind of get things going. And I like the idea of bringing in some wideness, some width to the, as always, I do like to kind of get in with my googly eyes. I do have a love for googly eyes, and as you see, as I've done it, there has been a drop of ink that has fallen, and I'm just going to use that as my eye, which is there. And I do love it when the nib kind of catches a part of the paper and kind of flicks things. That kind of gives me this beautiful natural, almost like a natural eyebrow type of feeling to him. And it kind of makes me feel like the drawing looks more natural that way sometimes. This kind of natural kind of flick gives a lot of feeling to it. And again, I'm going to follow that natural, and I'm going to try and get in there and do some nice wrinkles. Now today is a very strange day. It's very, very sunny outside, but it's actually quite cold in the south of England at the moment, and I'm in the middle of my walk with Mr. Miro. Now what can I get away with on the nose? I'm kind of feeling like he should have nostrils. I don't know why, but something is pulling me to kind of give him some kind of big nostrils like that. And also part of the reason that we do our drawing is to kind of also to entertain ourselves. You know, if you're drawing something and it does kind of make you kind of giggle, then you're going in the right direction. You know. And those kind of flared nostrils made me giggle. Right, well, you don't want to play, do you, pen? Let's take that one instead. Pretty much the same, I think. I don't get too kind of technical about what nibs and pens I use. I know that many people, many people have asked me about what is the nib, what is the... And it basically is whatever is in whatever pen I grab. I mean, as you know, if you kind of reach across and you grab a different pen, you will see that they're very different nibs. And that's not by design. It's just like, I like the look of that one, and I like the like of, and I just put them down. And I reach out and grab whatever I reach out and grab when I'm reaching out to grab something. And that kind of makes a variation on the drawing as well. I don't deliberately try to break nibs, but if they do, then I just grab whatever nib is, or whatever pen is already nibbed up. I don't really go in to look for something that was similar. I just grab whatever was there. Whatever is willing to be thrown around the paper. Giving him big ears. And there's something beautiful about ink anyway. I mean, it's just one of those kind of liquids that I just love to draw with ink. And there's so many different forms of ink as well. I mean, I've got lots of different pots with lots of different concoctions, really. Let's get a brush. Now you can see there on the edge of that this is quite a watery ink. And it's just a mixture of ink and water. And there's different grades that I use. Some are very, very grey, and some are very black. And some are midway. And that is just a simple thing of, sometimes it's nice to put a grey wash on something, and sometimes it's nice to have some thickness on a line. And I do love it. I love the differences between the different pens and brushes. Well, he's a strange character, isn't he? I almost feel like he needs to have a cool kind of mustache, you know? Like one of those kind of like little pencil mustaches. And as you can see, I make them up as I go along. Some days they're beautiful and some days they're a little bit bizarre. I think today's one's looking a little bit bizarre already. But we have no idea what's going to be here, so it could change. It could change massively. Add a nice tongue coming out there. And it's nice to have that freedom of an inky sketch, because then the whole way that things work, as you really don't know what and where you're going with things, and it gives you a lot of freedom. Do I have a little pot? What have I got? What kind of brushes have I got? That's quite a nice brush. And I'm just trying to mix up a nice grey there to put on some shadows, because the face is quite wide and I'm feeling like it's becoming a little bit too white across. It's quite an interesting line. And again, sometimes my brain is just kind of like saying, do a hand, do an arm, and I've just kind of got to this stage in my life where I just listen. I just kind of say, oh, okay, maybe you're right, you know. Let me put some, like he's some kind of private investigator or something, you know. I kind of do shading and a little bit more kind of like when I'm not really sure of the drawing whether I like it or not. I seem to add shading to kind of give myself time to think about, do I like it or not? Should I start another drawing? I mean, obviously it does help sometimes to put in a little bit of shading around. For example, like the ears look too flat and I want to kind of get in there. So I've got some ink sitting in in some water, and I'll try and add some in a little while just to kind of help it along. There's been quite a lot going on recently, so my head is, forgive me for not kind of like talking, but my head is actually got so many things going through it at the moment. I seem to be, my brain's got like 20 million things all racing around in there. I've got to do this, I need to do that, and I should do that, and I should do this, and usually on those type of days I'm very quiet, and I don't quite know what to say to myself. Say to myself. That's true. It's kind of true. Um, Thank you for all the comments recently and all the questions and such. You are fantastic. I do love getting questions and comments and requests and what such. I do enjoy that. It's a very nice part of my day to always look back onto the comments at the end of the day and see what people have asked and what requests they get. Today was a request. Today was the ugly smile. So I think I've achieved that already with an ugly smile. It does kind of come across quite like an ugly smile. And I do love the differences between a brush and a nib. I think there's quite a lovely contrast between the two. The delicacy of a nib. Sometimes I push the nib to extremes almost, where sometimes it breaks, and that is just me pushing it. And the brush, I kind of feel like it's the opposite. The brush will give me thickness, will give me a mass of color, a mass of black, and without much effort. And it's very nice to have the contrast between those two. Not quite sure what that one is really. A very strange drawing today, very, very strange. I'm not even sure if I like it. That's how strange I feel it is. And this is basically just watered ink, trying to get in to a little bit of density to it. I almost feel like I could black in the mouth, but then I've done a very thick lips, so it's kind of, maybe the grey will be enough. It's nice to kind of have the difference really with adding the grey to it. Almost a strange kind of wash to it. So I will get in and do he kind of looks a little bit sneaky, like he's in the middle of doing something. Maybe he's like a private investigator, or he's some kind of dodgy dealer in some way. But that's the type of feeling that I get from it. And it would be nice to add some color to this one. It's far too wet at the moment, but lovely. So we'll get in and do a nice frame just to finish it off. And as always, it has been a pleasure to have you here. and a pleasure to do a drawing. A very strange one today, but it's nice to have, you know, when it's a request, I never really know if it's going to please the person that wanted the request, because it's obviously not something that I wanted. So it might be something that the person says, oh, that's not what I was thinking, or oh my god, that's perfect, I love that, you know. So if you have requested the ugly smile, I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you think about today's drawing. Was it what you wanted? Was it what you were thinking? And I do love getting requests, so if there's something that you do want me to draw, send me a message, and I'll see what I can do for you. Lovely. So that is the ugly smile. The ugly smile was today's drawing, and thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe, and if you did, go and watch some of the other videos. There's about 3,000 videos now, so go and have a beautiful day, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye bye.